We're also following breaking news out of the tech world tonight that you. We're also following breaking news out of the tech world tonight that you may have heard about. Amazon set to announce massive layoffs. As many as 30,000 corporate job cuts. That according to Reuters. CNBC reporting it will be the largest cuts in the company's history. NBC's Christine Romans joins us now on set. Christine, so great to see you and talk to you. This is a huge headline, and it's sort of wild because it's one of the biggest companies in the world. And if they're cutting 30,000 people, what does that say for other companies across the country?
And they're cutting things like advertising and HR and cloud. They're cutting white-collar jobs. 10% of their corporate office jobs here is what these reports are. Amazon, of course, not commenting, but these are supposed to start tomorrow. These pink slips will start tomorrow. And I think it shows you that using AI for cost cutting is essentially the holy grail for these big companies. They want to use artificial intelligence to figure out how to take out layers in the office, how to make people more productive, and how to move some of this work to other functions, AI functions.
And we were just talking about AWS, I think, last week with your colleague Brian Chung here. Explain to our viewers, this is sort of scary. We don't want to scare people out there, but Amazon is a tech company. They're obviously invested in AI. We just had Vicky Nguyen here talking about AI in the stock rooms. This is different, though, because they have the technology to do AWS, but they're also cutting through AI. And it's kind of putting those two ideas together, right?
Yeah, and it's really interesting to me. They grew like gangbusters through the pandemic, added all these workers, and then realized they had too many workers. And they cut 27,000. I think in 2022, they had a huge downsizing. And this is on top of that. This is even bigger than that, Tom, if it's indeed 30,000 jobs.
And it's your understanding it's because of AI? They're figuring out jobs that AI can take, some of them?
They're cutting costs. Andy Jassy, the CEO this summer, in a memo to employees in June, said they would do everything and they would use any technology they could to cut costs. And cutting costs is cutting HR, it's cutting advertising, it's cutting some of these places where you can do it better with technology and AI.
Maybe happening faster than some people thought. Okay, Christine Romans, we thank you. We thank you for.
There you go. Let me start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Mechak, Wadash, double honors to the apostles and elders. I'm your brother, Rabbi Knapp, coming out with a lesson, Lord's will, satisfying to the Lord's elect. I'm going to start off in the book of Isaiah 19 and somewhere 15, I believe, because that's what's going on right now. Isaiah 19, verse 15, now there shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. So there ain't going to be any work. Egypt is talking about America. As a matter of fact, I should have started here at 14. The Lord have mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. And the Lord is causing this perverse spirit, which is making them choose money over the quality of a product. And they're taking away jobs in order to keep their stock market price at this inflated level. So your stock market can be inflated, but the quality of what's being built is being destroyed. That's why Boeing and things like that, the quality of it isn't going through the same process as it was before, okay? Because it's that perverse spirit of choosing money over the quality of the project is causing Egypt to earn every work thereof, and you're seeing it in the manufacturing business. They're taking out the HR. But they're not telling you that they're also taking it out of the quality control of the situation. So these products, they're getting, they're costing more, but yet the quality it's not there. As a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. You slipping and sliding, man. And eventually, no one's going to want to buy this stuff, and your stock price is going to crash anyways. Going back to Zephaniah. All right, or is it Zechariah? I think it's Zephaniah 1. In verse 10, and it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord, that there shall be a noise of a cry from the fish gate, and a howling from the second, and a great crashing from the hills. Yeah, let me grab this in the GPT. What's that? Zephaniah 1 and 10. Let's get into this real quick. So this is talking about prophesying about a stock market crash, but I'm curious to see what Zephaniah. Hopefully my internet works. Zephaniah 1, verse 10, meaning. Was it 1 and 10? Yep. Zephaniah 1 verse 10. Okay, and it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord, that there shall be a noise of a cry from the fish gate, and a howling from the second, and a great crashing from the hills. This verse is part of Zephaniah's prophecy about the coming judgment, the day of the Lord, upon Judah and Jerusalem for their idolatry and corruption. Each phrase is symbolic of chaos, destruction, and mourning that would come upon the city when Babylon would invade. In the day, saith the Lord, refers to the day of the Lord, a time of divine judgment and visitation. It represents both the Babylonian destruction in the prophet's time and in the future. Okay, Zephaniah 1 verse 14, the great day of the Lord is near, it is near, and hasteth greatly. The noise of a cry from the fish gate. The fish gate was one of the main gates of Jerusalem. See Nehemiah 3 verse 3. Let's go there. Let's go there. See Nehemiah 3 verse 3. It says, but the fish gate did the sons of Hassanah build, who also laid the beams thereof, and set up the doors thereof, the locks thereof, and the bars thereof. Builders of the walls. Let's see what this is talking about. Nehemiah 3 verses another precept. It said, Nehemiah 12 verse 39. So the fish gate is where you basically sold, you know, where you sold your stuff at. You know, you bring fish, you bring whatever you're going to sell to the gate, and that's where you sell your stuff at. Okay, so lock you for this slow. Esau's been fucking with my internet, man. Nehemiah 3 verse 3 describes the rebuilding of the fish gate in Jerusalem by the sons of Hassanah, symbolizing a united communal effort to restore both the physical city and its commerce. Okay, let's look into this word, fish gate. Explain this. Nehemiah details the rebuilding of the fish gate in Jerusalem by the sons of. Just saying the same thing. Let's look it up somewhere. Let's look it up in Google then. What does the fish gate mean in the Bible? The fish gate was a gate in Jerusalem northern wall, named for the fish market nearby where fishermen sold their catch. It is mentioned in the Bible during the rebuilding of Jerusalem's walls by Nehemiah and was previously refortified by King Manasseh. Theologically, it can symbolize spiritual renewal and the calling of Christians to be fishers of men. Well, the fish gate represents the New York Stock Exchange. All right. And during this time in Nehemiah, Israel wanted to hurry up and build the fish gate so they can get money. You know, it's a lucrative way of making money. Okay, but Nehemiah had to check them, I believe in Nehemiah the 12th chapter, and reminded them that the reason why they had to rebuild the fish gate was because they weren't keeping the Sabbath day holy. So he reminded them not to do that. Nehemiah 12 and I haven't read Nehemiah 12 in a while, but that's what it's talking about. Nehemiah 12 verse 39. Procedures for the temple. I'll start at 31. Then I brought up the princes of Judah upon the wall and appointed 2 great companies of them that gave thanks, whereof one went on the right hand upon the wall toward the dung gate. And after them, let's see what the dung gate is. The dung gate. Dung gate in the Bible. The dung gate was one of Jerusalem gates mentioned in the book of Nehemiah, named because it was the exit for the city's refuse, garbage, and animal waste, which was taken to the nearby valley of Hinnom. In the biblical account of the city's restoration, a man named Malchijah repaired this gate, symbolizing how even the most humble and menial tasks are important in God's work. So that's what he got the burning at. And after them went Hoshea and half of the princes of Judah, and Azariah, Ezra, and Meshullam, Judah and Benjamin, Shemaiah, and Jeremiah, and certain of the priests' sons the trumpets, namely Zechariah the son of Jonathan, the son of Shemaiah, the son of Mattaniah, the son of Micaiah, the son of Zachar, the son of Asaph, and his brethren Shemaiah, Azariah, Meliah, Galila, Maaiah, Nathaniel, and Judah, Hananiah, with the musical instruments of David, the man of God, and Ezra, the scribe before him. And at the fountain gate, which was over against them, what's this fountain gate? Fountain gate refers to a historical gate in ancient Jerusalem known for its proximity to water, sources like the Gihon Spring or the Westfield Fountain Gate. Shopping center in Australia, both have symbolic meaning. What is the fountain gate in the Bible? The fountain gate was a gate in the eastern wall of ancient Jerusalem mentioned in the book of Nehemiah. It was located near the pool of Siloam and was associated with the king's garden, and its rebuilding is described in Nehemiah 3. The gate has both historical significance as a point of restoration for the city. Which was over against them. They went up by the stairs of the city of David at the going up of the wall above the house of David, even unto the water gate. Eastward was the water gate. The water gate. And the Bible refers to several times to Jerusalem's Watergate. The Watergate, Jerusalem, is the place where the prophet Ezra read the Torah teachings to crowds. I love these examples. I mean, could you give did they use it to, was there a river, This is how dumb Esau is. They don't give you any information, even to the Watergate eastward. And the other company of them that gave thanks went over against them, and I after them, and the half of the people upon the wall, from beyond the tower of the furnaces, even unto the broad wall, and from above the gate of Ephraim, and above the old gate, and above the fish gate, and the tower, and Hananiel, and the tower of Meah, even unto the sheep gate, and they stood still in the prison gate. So stood the two companies of them that gave thanks unto the house of God, and I, and the half of the rulers with me. And they just giving thanks for the fish gate, pretty much restoring the wall and getting back to business. It faced north toward the route from Babylon and Assyria, meaning the enemy would enter from that direction. The cry symbolizes the wailing of the people as destruction begins. The howling from the second likely refers to the second quarter or district of Jerusalem, a residential area. See 2 Kings 22 and 14. The college equals second quarter. It indicates the spread of destruction deeper into the city. So a howling from the second. Let me look at this word, second. Second, double, college. Second quarter or district. So whatever, part of the city that you're gonna hear that crying from, it just lets you know it's getting closer. Especially when the stock market crash, you're gonna know that it's over, especially if an invading army's coming and you can't make money anymore. That's what that's indicating. Just like when this stock market crash, okay, and he's gonna try to get you to take the MOTB. That's all part of the howling of the fish gate. What are we gonna do? We can't feed ourselves. We can't do this. This is just the beginning, and you already howling now. And these businesses are starting to lose. So, a lot of people want to work for Amazon. People are happy that he got all these. Where I'm at, there's like 2 huge Amazon built factories in the same city. So a lot of these people relying on that type of labor, you're going to be screwed, just like in Detroit when they took all those manufacturing jobs out of place and gave it to these foreign countries. Now they're going to be taking your jobs and giving it over to AI robots and things like that. So what are you going to do if you ain't got a job? You're going to be asking for help. What are you supposed to do? You don't even know what to do with your EBT being out of order. You know? So, you know, and what can you do except for rely on the Lord? And he told you to do that. But he said his servant's going to eat, and that's why it's best to just serve the Lord. Ultimately, you want to repent and get right with the Lord because, you know, a lot of people are going to be screwed in the near future. Zephaniah 1 verse 10 describes the progression of judgment moving through Jerusalem. Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. And it's you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. The progression of judgment, that's coming, man. It's always been coming. Okay, that's why, you know, they got those digital shopping carts and all of these things come into play now. You know, your EBT card is running out now, November 1st, 3 days from now. The enemy enters through the fish gate, the north. Destruction spreads to the inner city, the second quarter, and collapse and ruin echo from the surrounding hills. So as he starts to come in, it eventually is going to get to you. Okay? It's both a literal prophecy of Babylon's invasion and a warning of the coming day of the Lord, a time when all wickedness will face divine judgment. Crashing, breaking, ruin, collapse, destruction. Using Jeremiah 6 and 14, saying peace, peace when there is no peace. And the whole time you're going to be screaming this peace, peace, bull crap. Telling you this is what we should get back to normal and do all this other bull. As a matter of fact, Putin did a nuclear test.
President Trump says he hopes China can help end the Russia-Ukraine war ahead of his meeting with Xi Jinping this week. But Trump also says he is assessing the Russian threat after President Vladimir Putin and his top general claim they successfully tested a nuclear-powered cruise missile.
They're not playing games with us. We're not playing games with them either. We test missiles all the time, and I don't think it's an appropriate thing for Putin to be saying either, by the way. You ought to get the war ended. A war that should have taken 1 week is now in its soon 4th year. That's what you ought to do instead of testing missiles.
Former CIA station chief Dan Hoffman joins us now. Dan, how big of a deal is this, and what impact will it have?
Well, I think it's worth remembering that China and Russia signed their no-limit strategic partnership back in February of 2022. There's really 3 components there. First, an ideological one. Both Putin and Xi are ruthless dictators, and so they see eye to eye on how to run their countries internally and aggressively overseas. There's an economic component because Russia needs to import dual-use military technology from China to keep their army supplied with what they need to carry on their invasion of Ukraine. And Russia exports hydrocarbons to China, which is really important for China's economy. And then there's a strategic component where both Russia and China want to limit the United States' ability to project power overseas. For Russia, obviously, that means in Europe, and for China in the Pacific. I think what President Trump might be doing here is exposing China's support to Russia, using it as leverage. I'm not sure the president expects China to do anything to help solve this conflict, but he's countering China's rationale for an attack on Taiwan, and he's again exposing China's nefarious support to this war, and I think that's a good thing for the trade negotiations.
As you look at the right-hand side of your screen, any moment now we are waiting for President Trump to be greeted by the Emperor of Japan.
So long story short, he's trying to get Moab economically to agree with him to pretty much stop buying Russian oil, because that's how Russia's able to support him fighting up against the Ukrainians. So if he can stop everybody from buying that Russian oil, which a big, huge component of that is China, he can get them to negotiate about things that are going on in the battlefield.
But I want to go back to the missile that Russia is bragging about. Do you believe the hype coming out of the Kremlin about this nuclear-powered missile? And if so, should we be concerned here in the U.S., not just for the warhead part of it, Dan, which obviously would cause a nuclear catastrophe, but also the fact that it is nuclear-powered? And oftentimes, you know, mistakes happen, problems happen, and there could be ultimately fallout, no pun intended.
I think that absolutely we have to be concerned. I expect that the U.S. intelligence community is seeking to collect as much intelligence on this new threat as we can, and on our defense circles as well. Look, absolutely, this is of concern to us. It's a Russian effort to demonstrate their power, to extort us and our European allies. And so absolutely, it's a real intelligence requirement for us. I can tell you, going back to my days at CIA, collecting on Soviet and then later Russian military capabilities was of the highest priority.
All right, Dan, we just saw the Emperor, the Japanese.
And those Russian nuclear capabilities are the highest capability. Never mind priority, there's nothing you can do about it. Isaiah 13. Verse 17, behold, I'll stir up the Medes, which are the Russians, against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. And right now, he's trying to do what? Sanctions. Put sanctions on them. That ain't going to work for them. Oh, we'll stop putting sanctions on you. He's bypassing all your sanctions, man. You know, they asked Duck about, do you think the sanctions are actually going to do something? He said, we'll see 6 months from now. 6 months from now is not going to stop his hypersonic missile, ballistic missiles that he has. Isaiah 13 and 18. Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces. These young men, talking about you Babylonians, they're going to dash you to pieces. And they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children. Okay, just the same way that's going on in the Middle East. Same way you ain't spare the children and all, just indiscriminately doing this, that, and the third. Missiles have no, they don't care about who they hit. These missiles gonna hit where they hit, and they're not gonna have any pity on who's over there and if there's this, that, who, they're gonna blow that shit up, man. This is that time. World War III is not gonna be. They lost 35 million people, I think, in World War II. Their kids and people, a lot of people were being destroyed then. You know, and don't think they ever forgot about that. That's why they're going to be quick to use the sword. That's why they have the type of implementation with their missiles the way they have it. You know, mutually ensured destruction. I mean, most of the countries are like that. But not at the level that Russia got it, man. You're not going to be able to stop what he's going to send over here. Isaiah 13, verse 19, in Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency shall be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. And he overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah with fire and brimstone. Okay, just like the fire and brimstone now will be in the form of these thermonuclear missiles. Babylon's talking about America, and Chaldees' excellency is talking about the elites, talking about America. The glory of kingdoms. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation, neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. So there's not going to be anybody over here selling things in a desert. No one's going to make their fold here. There's nothing but desert creatures. It's not going to be inhabited by any human being. Okay, there's desert creatures that are going to be here. Isaiah 13 and 21, but wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there. And the wild beasts of the island shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant palaces. And her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. That's why he's doing these missile testing.
Japanese emperor exit the imperial palace, and he's waiting to greet President Trump. We see the motorcade pulling up, and President Trump is just about to get out of the vehicle and shake the emperor's hand. What do you think about this moment and President Trump's trip to Japan overall, and the significance of it in light of the fact that he is going to be meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping in just a few days from now?
Yeah, I think it's a really powerful.
Look how thick that door is, man. Damn.
Powerful image, and this is a demonstration of presidential power. When the president travels overseas and meets with our most important adversaries like China, as well as our key allies like Japan, it's a powerful demonstration of the.
He's like, yeah, I'm gonna destroy you. Yeah. I remember what you guys did. I heard those Hebrew Israelites talk about Revelation 13. In 13, and he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image of the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live. And he's the first one to do that, to implement those thermonuclear missiles. Okay? So, and everyone followed him. They made an image of the beast. That's why there's democracies throughout the four corners of the earth. But they're going to turn around and switch on them.
Power that our country holds in the world. The president is making an extraordinary trip here and hitting on all the key issues, the key national security issues for our nation. Japan is such a critical ally in the Pacific. We've got extraordinarily close economic ties, and we rely on one another to deter China from.
Yeah, but Ammon and Moab are brothers, okay? And they both gonna. Why would they trust the duck, man? It's the Lord's will's about to be done.
Aggressive action in the region, and so this is a really important image and important for the president that he's getting out and making another trip. It's a whirlwind tour.
There will.
Right. Obadiah. One. Obadiah verse 7. All the men of that confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. Because now you believe them. You actually think they're your allies in that region. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. He actually believes that Ammon and Moab ain't working together against them. Everyone's conspiring against the so-called white man. Hey, everyone was conspiring against us. Now those same people that were confederate against us are going to be confederate against thee. Okay, fulfilling Deuteronomy 30 and 7. Same thing. And they're going to be destroyed too. Deuteronomy 30 verse 7, and the Lord thy God will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. Okay, so you're gonna be the tail, and and we gonna be the head. At the end of the day, that's the reversal that the Lord's about to do.
Will be no cameras inside as the president meets the emperor and they discuss whatever they're going to discuss. So we're going to move on to other issues. Specifically, we have this situation which I can't seem to get past, Dan, and I would like your thoughts on it. How tough is it diplomatically to need your number one adversary, in this case, China, to help you end a war involving what arguably is your number two adversary in Russia? How do you square that circle, Dan?
Yeah, I think the president understands that circle isn't going to be squared. But I really believe the president understands that highlighting China's role in supporting the most destructive land war in Europe is of benefit to the United States, because one thing we're trying to do is drive a wedge between Europe and China. Europe relies on China for their trade, and China's been taking advantage of them. I think that by exposing China's role in this war, we can help Europe, help remove the scales from the eyes of European leaders and understand that they need a little bit more of a realistic strategy towards China. I think that's important going forward. I'm not sure that anyone believes that China is going to back away from their support for their extremely close ally, Russia, at this time.
Yeah, and because of China, Japan really relies on the United States as a security guarantor, so they are going to be rolling out the red carpet for President Trump, and President Trump's meeting with the emperor is part of that five-star treatment. Former CIA Station Chief Dan Hoffman, we thank you for joining us this morning.
I'm Steve Ducey.
That eat that bread had deceived it. You get the 5-star treatment, but you're gonna get your Howard shot too. Keeping the day of the Lord in the future. Obadiah 1 verse 15, for the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they have not been. So you're going to drink the same cup, man. Same destructions. Deuteronomy 30:7, slavery. You being the tail, you going for us for everything. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness. And the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. It's talking about Esau. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord has spoken it. So that's you being utterly destroyed. There's never been a nation that has been burnt up. The whole nation just burnt up, man, by the Israelites. Both the northern and southern kingdom. This is prophecy that's going to be fulfilled. What nation is going to deserve this type of judgment? They would have to have done a lot of robbing, stealing, and killing down here on the earth. And there's only one nation I can think about that's notoriously known for being a damn danger to the whole world. Obadiah 1 verse 19, and they of the south shall possess the mount of Esau. They of the south, it was talking about Judah, and they of the plain of the Philistines, and they shall possess the fields of Ephraim, and the fields of Samaria, and Benjamin shall possess Gilead. And the captivity of this host of the children of Israel shall possess that of the Canaanites, which is the land of Israel, even unto the Zarephath, and the captivity of Jerusalem, which is in Sepharad, shall possess the cities of the south. And saviors shall come up on Mount Zion to judge the mount of Esau, and the kingdom shall be the Lord's Yahweh. Yeah, this saviors is plural. It's talking about the elect. All right. So that's judgment from the Lord. Now the gas in Venezuela accuses U.S. of preparing false flag attack. Maduro calls for peace amid U.S. military buildup. Maduro don't want no smoke. No smoke. Teen handcuffed after AI system mistakes bag of chips for gun.
Turn around. Get down on your knees. Keep your hands up.
Teen handcuffed after AI system mistook chips for gun. Of course, for Jake, you're going to have these mess ups.
Put your hands behind your bed.
With guns drawn, Baltimore County Police surround this group of high school football players after an AI gun detection system alerted school officials that one student had a weapon.
Is it because we stay on campus school?
No, I'll break in a second.
The teens handcuffed and questioned.
First thing I was wondering was, am I about to die? Because they had guns pointed at me, and it was just scary. I was scared.
The Omnalert system detected that alleged gun into Kai Allen's pocket.
Did you have a gun on you?
No. What?
Do you have anything blue that looks like a gun?
No. Is your phone blue? Can I grab it real quick? Yeah, you can grab it. I don't have nothing blue on me.
Nothing?
No, only my shoes.
Where did this call come from?
Esau, man. Oh, I can't wait to put your ass in slavery, man. Can't wait. You need to be arrested.
It's the Omni alert.
Is this like a bag or something?
After taking a closer look,
I mean, there's bags of chips and blue. Plus, I mean, that's what it looks like right here.
A bag of chips, that going back to Isaiah 19:14, causing Egypt to earn every work thereof. You guys are foolish, man. And he's going to set up a system. These things are only going to happen to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. When Esau walks out of school with a gun, it's not going to detect that. And if he does see it, he's going to ignore it. But if he sees some Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, he's going to pursue it. Okay, because that's how they program, man. And the Lord is no respecter of persons. If you're a young man, you come across this information, your ass need to repent too. Okay, you better seek the Lord, man. Because if he don't care, man, he don't care.
police realized it was an empty bag of Doritos.
He showed me a picture. I was just holding a Doritos bag like this. It was two hands in and one hand out and one finger out. And it was like, they said it looked like a gun.
One officer's frustration over...
Oh my God, man! Esau's I'm telling you, he's the basest of men. But he probably programmed that into it so he can justify putting you to death. And that's why these Edomites sign up for these type of jobs. They want to put you so-called Negroes, Latinos to death so badly because they got a perpetual hatred against you. And because you're so dumb, you don't know who you are. These Edomites don't know who they are either. But they're the devil. They don't know it yet, but they will in these last days when the Lord starts putting judgment on their ass.
The false alert captured on his body cam.
School and gun involved, we take it very seriously. So I appreciate you guys' cooperation and what you're transparent with us.
Omnalert says the system operated as designed, detecting a possible threat, routing it for human review, and ensuring rapid informed decision-making. The school district telling our Baltimore affiliate WBAL human error in communication may be to blame, saying the school principal pushed for the police response and didn't realize at the time that the alert had been canceled by the school security team. The principal writing in a statement, they understand how upsetting this was for the individual that was searched as well as the other students who witnessed the incident.
Something's got to be done. Changes have to be made, and people have to be accountable.
Alan's grandfather.
That's right. That's right. But you're not going to get any accountability on this side. Okay, you're not going to get any accountability from the so-called white man on this side because he's the devil. He calls himself not guilty. Okay. Let me grab that precept. Zechariah 11:5, who possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty, and they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. And their possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. That's the point. And that's talking about Esau, Edom. Okay. So you're not going to get any justice on the side. The only justice you're going to get is when the Lord returns. And he's going to do all the judgment. You got to suffer all this. Revelation chapter 19, verse 11. The coming of Hamashiach, who the world ignorantly calls Christ. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse. So the Lord's going to crack the clouds. And he that sat upon him was called faithful and true. And that's talking about Yahweh Shai. And in righteousness he doth judge and make war. So he gonna judge their asses according to their wickedness down there on the earth. And who better to do the judgment than the Son of the Most High? First of all, the Father gave him all power and authority. He's coming to take it because it was given to him. Secondly, he knows who is who through the Spirit. Okay, so everyone who's gonna get judged is gonna get judged, and it's not gonna be no mistake of judgment. You know, like Esau, he'll have a warrant. He'll go in the wrong house, kill the wrong person. The Lord's not gonna do that. He gonna know exactly who you are through the Spirit, and he ain't gonna miss. Revelation 19, verse 12, his eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. And that's talking about the rest of you heathen. Your authority, your power down here on the earth, the Lord's taking that away. and he had a name written that no man knew but he himself, and the name's going into your reputation. Okay, the Lord gave him, the Most High God gave his son the highest reputation that no one would understand except for him in the Most High. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name was called the Word of God. Okay, that vesture dipped in blood is symbolic of the destruction he's gonna bring forth when he's done, when he returns. Revelation 19 verse 14, and the armies that were in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. And this is talking about the angels, the other chariots that are coming with him, because he's gonna open up he's gonna send forth. He don't even need all this to destroy all you, but the Lord's gonna send forth. He's gonna open up the heavens on you. Revelation 19 verse 15, and out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, and this is how he's gonna judge you. Okay, that with it he should smite the nations. I'm talking about you heathen, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, which is a rigorous rulership. It's gonna be hard bondage. And he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and the wrath of the Almighty God. And he's going to hit you with the wrath of the Almighty God, man, that from the Heavenly Father. He's going to send his son with his wrath to destroy you, man. And he's going to do it with the sharp sword, which is pretty much those laser beams that are going to be coming out of these chariots. Just like in that movie, War of the Worlds. Okay, let's look at this word, sharp.
Strong's G 3691. Axus.
Axus, swift, sharp, swift, quick. What's this G188? It says acid. Let's see, go into this word real quick. Yet, a point, extreme climax, acme, highest degree, the present time. Okay, a sharp. If something is sharp, let's look at this word, sharp. Of an object having an edge or point that is able to cut or pierce something, producing a sudden, it says keen, highly developed. Okay, so just like Esau, his sword is being sharpened or furbished, like it says in Ezekiel 21. The Lord got a highly developed sword too. All right. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword. He just didn't need to demand it. Okay. Put him to death. And then puff. You just powder. Okay. Unlike Esau's sword is get the wrong person. It's mistaken Dorito chips for guns. The Lord's sword is not gonna do that, man. It's gonna get your ass, man, perfectly. All right. And let me finish this. Revelation 19 and 16, he have on his vesture and on his thigh name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Okay, so that's his title, that's his rank. All right, he's second to the Most High God. Okay, you don't even know what a CEO of your company with how much power he got. Never mind Yahweh Shai. All right, that's out of this world. It's beyond what this world can even comprehend, because it goes beyond this earth. Okay. And he's the second. He literally created everything. Revelation 19 and 17. And I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying to all the fowls that fly in the midst of heaven, come and gather yourselves together unto the supper of the great God. And the supper of the great God is when you get destroyed. When you go into the valley of Jehoshaphat, all these dead bodies, the birds are going to eat on your flesh. Okay, that ye may eat the flesh of kings and the flesh of captains and the flesh of mighty men and the flesh of horses and of them that sit on them, and the flesh of all men, both free and bond, both small and great. And I saw the beasts and the kings of the earth and their armies gather together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army. And that's talking about Yahushua and the angels.
Along with county leaders now calling on the school.
Accountable.
Alan's grandfather, along with county leaders, now calling on the school to review their policies and procedures.
Nobody will want their child this to happen to their child. No one. No one wants this to happen to their child.
Dana Griffin joins us tonight from LA. Dana, this software is used at schools across the country?
Absolutely, Tom. So OmniAlert's AI detection system is in place in over 50.
OmniAlert. Corporate office. AI gun detection and emergency response technology. OmniAlert is the leading provider of AI gun detection technology, deploying advanced data-centric AI to enable the best weapon detection system. This is the best foolishness. Can't even tell a bag of Doritos. Dumbasses. That's why y'all. This is wicked. This is wicked. Ultimately, this is for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Customer testimonial. I appreciate the customer service and the consistent innovations. Get the hell out of here. Esau's full of shit. And this is Isaiah prophesying the downfall of this place, man. Causing Egypt to earn every word.
50 schools across the country. 50 schools across the country. In January, that system isn't in place in over 50 schools across the country. In January, that software failed to detect a gun used in that deadly Antioch High School shooting in Nashville, Tennessee. The company said that's because the gun in that case was not visible to the camera and therefore not detectable. OmniAlert tells NBC News they regularly refine and update their AI models to improve accuracy. Tom.
Dana Griffin for us tonight. Dana, great to see you. We thank you.
I wouldn't be surprised if you start saying, oh, your cell phone was a gun, dumbass. That's Esau. I'm going to end it right here. Lord's will, this was edifying. Shalom.